The case of a former bus captain suing employer SBS Transit for alleged unfair work practices is back in the Singapore High Court. This after the previous lawyer representing him and 12 other captains also filing claims was discharged last year. The matter was first brought up as early as 2019. Chloe Chu reports.
At the heart of the matter is whether transport provider SBS Transit was fair with its work roster and overtime pay for the 13 bus captains. 3 are Singaporeans, 1 is a PR and the rest Malaysians. The first plaintiff to be heard is ex-bus captain Chua Kwong Ming, who had to make his way to court after his Zoom connection failed. The court's findings on his case is expected to be binding on the other captains. He's represented by lawyer Lim Tien. Now, if you remember, last June, the judge Audrey Lim had called this case significant because the issues could affect a larger group of workers, as well as how employment contracts are structured in terms of granting days off, overtime pay and work hours. During the almost 7-hour hearing, Mr. Chua was cross-examined by senior counsel Davinder Singh, who's representing SBS Transit. Mr. Singh says that his client had paid Mr. Chua the legal public holiday rate and rostered its workers no more than what's allowed in the law. Mr. Chua refuted this, saying that documents showed that captains worked around 18 days in a row, and overtime pay was also not properly recorded. SBS is denying allegations that Mr. Chua was what the judge calls compelled to work on rest days, which is illegal. Just for context, this matter first came to light back in 2019 when it was heard in the Industrial Arbitration Court. A few captains accused SBS of making them work for 7 days without rest, without overtime pay, and that its 48-hour workweek contract is illegal, since it's more than the 44 hours allowed in the Employment Act. But the IAC ruled that there was no wrongdoing by SBS. The 48-hour workweek included rest breaks, so there was only 43.5 hours of actual work, although it did say that the contract could have been written more clearly. Those captains disagreed with the ruling and later decided to sue SBS in the civil court. It's expected these same issues are likely to be brought up when the virtual hearing continues on Wednesday.